and welcome to our meeting this evening. Have you ever met someone that you just know in every cell in your being that this is someone that you want to meet and spend the rest of your life with? Right? Well, that's how I felt when I met Julie. Julie is clearly, a hugely intelligent woman. She has spent thousands of hours studying herbology, iridology, and nutrition. And that in itself is hugely impressive. Trust me, I know. She also has a memory for all this stuff that I envy. The other thing about Julie, though, that's really, really impresses me is who she is as a person. She is quietly tenacious in her knowledge, in her beingness, and in her spirituality. And that is someone that you will want to know and trust. So grab your pens and your paper and come on down and take some notes, because you're going to learn some amazing things from Julie Formby. And with that, Julie, please come on up and wow us with your brilliance on heart and brain tonight. I'm very excited.
Thank you so much. Thank you. What a wonderful introduction. Well, what Tricia didn't tell you is she's pretty knowledgeable by her own right, and I love going to her classes and things that she instructs on, so it means a lot to have someone introduce me in that way. I'm so excited to be here and to be sharing about brain and heart health today. And let's start just by talking about some statistics. So did you know that there's an estimated 80 million Americans that have one or more types of heart disease? And did you know that there's many different types of heart disease? We're going to be talking about that today. And we're also going to be talking about natural solutions that you can use instead of the traditional, conventional medical routes of cut, burn, replace, poison, those types of things. So more than 600,000 Americans die of heart disease each year. That's 1 in every 4 deaths. 600,000 people, huge, and 80 million Americans, so that's roughly 1 in 3 people in the United States. And as the baby boomers age, so do their hearts and brains. We're seeing an explosion in cardiovascular disease. And the cost to our country is approximately $31 billion in 2012, so that's even grown since then. And it's expected to more than double by the year 2030. So I don't know about you, but when I hear this statistic, I think there's something wrong, because there's all this research into heart disease. There's all of these new developments, new treatments, and all this, yet cardiovascular disease is going to more than double in the next 15 years. Crazy. So 23% of Medicare patients are actually readmitted to the hospital for heart failure within 6 months after the first diagnosis. So it's not just one occurrence, it's multiple times. So there's something wrong. Things are not being fixed. And we're going to discover why today. Often surgery and prescriptions are viewed as the only options. We already talked about that. Lovely photos here of what your medical options are. Personally, I don't want that. So what is cardiovascular disease? We're going to run through real quickly what it is. There's a whole list of symptoms you can read for yourself. We can send you the presentation. But it's basically narrowed or blocked blood vessels that can lead to heart attack, chest pain, or angina they call it, angina some people say, stroke. There's other forms of heart disease also that involve the actual muscle of the heart, the valves, and the rhythm, so how regularly the heart beats. Some symptoms that you're going to experience if you have cardiovascular disease, depending on the type of disease. So if it's blocked arteries, this is your whole list of symptoms that you can feel. And I think it's important to point out that the symptoms can be very different for men versus women. So women tend to feel more fatigued and nauseated, and men experience the pain. Another type is the abnormal heartbeats, arrhythmias. Here's all the symptoms: fluttering, racing heart, slow heartbeat, shortness of breath, lightheadedness. Cardiomyopathy, that's when the heart becomes weakened and enlarged. And it can also be a thick wall of your heart tissue. And that, of course, inhibits how the heart functions, and this is a list of the symptoms. So you can see it's quite extensive. There's lists and lists and lists of symptoms for these different types of cardiovascular disease. So what are the causes of cardiovascular disease? Well, according to Mayo Clinic, it's an unhealthy diet. And conventional medicine says that a low-fat diet is a healthy diet. So they recommend that you eat vegetable oils, canola oil, things of that nature. What's happened with heart disease when we've increased our consumption of these oils? It's exploded, and they still have not figured out why. It comes back to diet, but what conventional medicine says is healthy is really not the truth. The truth is that cholesterol is healthy, and we're told all the time it's bad, and you don't want it, and you want to lower it, and there's all kinds of problems that come along with that. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. So other causes of atherosclerosis or blocked arteries is lack of exercise, being overweight, smoking. I wholeheartedly agree with these, but what they don't list, these things in red, are nutritional deficiencies, and that's what we're going to get into more today. Arrhythmia, so that's another type of heart issue. Some of the causes, again, huge lists. What's not, what I wanted to highlight in this list is birth defects, or they call it congenital heart defects. Again, these stem back to nutritional deficiencies. So here's a picture of atherosclerosis. You've probably seen this. You start getting accumulations of plaque, which is actually just calcification within the insides of your arteries. And eventually it blocks the flow of blood, and that can rupture and cause strokes and all sorts of things that you don't want. Here's some more causes for the primary types of cardiovascular disease. So cardiomyopathy, here's a list. Again, nutritional deficiencies can be a part of that. Nutritional deficiencies can be a part of hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. Each one of these has a nutritional component, but we're not figuring it out in conventional medicine, right? Because it's going to double by the year 2030. So what is the cost of heart disease? According to 2012 statistics, here's the source. Hospitalization ran around $24,000. If you had a heart issue, procedures and tests, $14,000. All of it came out to be around $110,000 lifetime cost for a person with heart disease. Then you have all these other bills that they don't talk about. So if you're able to be managed without surgeries or bypass surgeries or pacemakers or transplants, then it's going to be around $120,000 or $110,000 on average. But check it out. Just a bypass surgery can be $200,000. It's huge. Pacemakers, expensive. All of these things, and I don't know about you, but I don't want any of these. I want to keep my own parts. So the traditional medical model is first to poison, and this is kind of a crude way of putting it, and I don't mean to demean the medical community, but if you see all the prescription ads on TV and you see all the side effects that have to be managed by more prescriptions, you tell me, is that really benefiting a person or is it poisoning them? So ACE inhibitors, beta blockers, diuretics, all these things to get the heart to slow down and quit working so fast and to not have high blood pressure. Well, what really is the root of high blood pressure? We're going to talk about that today. Cut it. Cut the heart. Put in stents. Do bypass surgery. Why not just get to the root? Burn it. So if you have an irregular heart rhythm or a part of your heart that's pulsating and working out of rhythm, well, just burn the nerves and then it won't do that anymore. Shock treatments to get it started and set on a new rhythm. Replacement, valve replacements, pacemakers, all those types of things. So this is just like like knee replacements and joint replacements. Why not keep your own parts? And it's very possible. What we're told in the medical community is that the causes for many of these are unknown. Even though they had a whole list of causes, remember the red thing that wasn't listed was nutritional deficiencies. And I'm going to tell you about somebody who understands this and who knows what the source of all diseases is. This is Dr. Wallach. He's the one. He eliminated over 900 diseases. They're all boiled down to being a nutrient deficiency. whether it's a birth defect or something that happens after the fact. If you're lacking the nutrients, your body is not going to do what it's supposed to do. And he was able to produce disease in animals by withholding specific nutrients, and then when he would replenish those, then the disease would be reversed. It's quite interesting. So his philosophy is to strengthen and feed the heart and blood vessels with specific nutrients, and you heal from the inside out. I'd like to point out that this is not just some fly-by-night medical doctor. I know there's a lot of doctors out there and they put their title on what they do and think that everybody should believe it and everybody should think, oh, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. But this guy actually took the FDA to court and sued them in order to make medical claims about specific nutrients. So one of his medical claims that we are all able to make now is that essential fatty acids, or EFAs, lower the risk of coronary heart disease. That was made in 2004. The next claim, and there's a whole list, I think he took them to court 7 to 9 times, something like that, and he won every single time. So it's exciting that we have like a bulldog like this who's going to go after getting the truth out there to the public, that there are known causes for diseases, and this is how you prevent it and reverse them. So his other health claim that's pertinent to what we're talking about today is that selenium is anti-carcinogenic. So yes, we're not talking about cancer today, but in addition to selenium being anti-carcinogenic, it's good for the heart, and that's the connection to what we're talking about today. So Dr. Wallach says that the key to good health is nutrition. It's not just what you eat that's killing you, it's what you don't eat. We need all 90 essential nutrients. I mentioned earlier that he was able to eliminate over 900 diseases. There's an average of 10 diseases linked to every nutrient deficiency. 10 times 90, 900. That's how we get it. And he says also, even if you consider yourself healthy, you still need 90 for life to make sure you're getting the proper nutrition on a daily basis. And I'm a classic example of this. So, healthcare practitioner, eat healthy, scrupulous about my diet. I do some testing within my practice and find out that I am under-mineralized. I was so frustrated. I thought, no wonder people want to give up. I'm doing the best I can and I'm still under-mineralized. All that I was doing was eating food. Well, if it's not in your food, then it's not going to get in your body. And what I learned through Dr. Wallach is that the reason I was not getting it through food is because there's no minerals in the soil anymore. This chart here shows what the mineral content was of the soil back in the early 1900s. And you can see here we had high levels of all these minerals. And then you can see what happens. Up here to 2015, it's declined rapidly, starting with the mechanization of farming. When we were not letting the soil rest, we were not replenishing nutrients, we were simply farming over and over and over and adding in 3 minerals, nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus. Well, plants may be able to grow on that, but humans can't. We need 90, just like Dr. Wallach says. If it's not in the soil, it's not going to be in our food, and it's not going to be in us. And this was my problem. After I started taking the products that we're going to talk about in a little while, 6 months later, I was completely in range for all minerals. So to me, that was just proof that this is an excellent company, excellent product. So what makes these products so great? First of all, most mineral supplements are derived from elemental minerals. So that means soil or rocks. It's cheap. It's easy to go out and grind up a rock and not have to grow a plant, produce it, process it in a plant, extract the vitamins and minerals. It's much more expensive to use plants. Everything through longevity is derived from plants. And it's on average 98% absorbable. And the plants do the job for us by converting minerals from the soil into minerals that we can use. We can't use calcium carbonate very easily. We can. It's a very cheap source, but there's a lot of conversions that have to take place in order for our body to be able to use it. The minerals in longevity products, because they're from plants, they're already in a form that we're able to use. So it all gets into the cell. They're micro nano particles that get right into the nucleus of the cell. And that's something that really excites me. And absorbability is the key. So you can eat the best food on the planet, but if you're not digesting it and you're not absorbing it, it's not going to make a difference in your body. So this is one of the distinctives of 90 for life. So we have 3 basic products in the longevity family, and they make up what is referred to as 90 for life, so the 90 essential nutrients. We have a peach or tangerine flavored drink called Beyond Tangy Tangerine that has all of your vitamins that you need for the day. It has some of the minerals, and to top off the mineral need is this Beyond Osteo Effects. That gives you additional minerals for your bones, teeth. Calcium is good for more than that, though. It's good for more than bones and teeth, and we're going to talk about that today. It actually affects your heart. And then the third product that fits within the 90 essentials is essential fatty acids. So we need 60 minerals, we need 16 vitamins, we need 12 amino acids, and we need 3 essential fatty acids every single day. If we don't have them, we're going to develop diseases. So the 90 essential nutrients make up the base of several packs that we have within longevity. There's 6 basic packs, and each specific pack that addresses a specific health issue has an extraction of specific nutrients from the Beyond Tangy Tangerine or the Osteo Effects, and it magnifies those to address a specific condition. So the pack that we're talking about today is the Brain and Heart Pack. And the additional products that are included in that are the selenium and additional essential fatty acids. So we have our 3 basic products, and then we have 2 extras. I wanted to go over a little bit about why Beyond Tangy Tangerine, part of the 90 essentials, is also good for the brain and heart. So it's full of B vitamins, very high percentages, and they're in a form that your body can use. They don't have to be converted. There's a lot of people who have issues in their liver where they're not able to convert B vitamins. It's already in the form that you need. B vitamins are important for mental clarity, they're important for energy, but also to regulate your heart rhythm. So there's some parts of B vitamins that open blood vessels and dilate them and help blood to flow easily, and there's others that constrict them. So that's an important element of Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Vitamin C is also super important for the heart. There's a component of vitamin C called vitamin P that is actually very good for elasticity of blood vessels. If you have atherosclerosis, they become hard, hardening of the arteries, right? Vitamin C helps keep them elastic and soft and pliable. Within Beyond Osteo Effects, we have calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus that are all excellent for the heart. So calcium and magnesium both help regulate the heart rhythm and the heart rate and affect the tone of the heart as well. So when I say tone, not the sound, I mean the tone of the muscle. So if you don't have enough calcium, you're going to have a really lazy heart muscle, and it's not going to contract as hard as it needs to. It'll just, be really lazy. That's when people need pacemakers. That's when people need surgeries. Or they say you need them. They actually need calcium. Magnesium also prevents calcification in the arteries. So we talked earlier about atherosclerosis. If you have enough calcium, you're not going to have, or if you have enough magnesium, you're not going to have calcification within your arteries. Calcium and magnesium oppose each other, and they keep each other balanced. So one of the problems that we have today, I think, with supplements, and you have to be really careful, is a lot of people will recommend that you take specific supplements in isolation, not the whole package. And this is one of the beauties of longevity, is you get the whole package. But if you take a lot of vitamin D, what does vitamin D do with calcium? Like, there's a vitamin D craze, right? Everybody needs it for cancer prevention and all this. But if you take too much vitamin D, you're going to retain more calcium. If you're not taking enough magnesium and you are retaining more calcium, you're going to have more heart disease. So I think this is part of the picture of what's going on. Not only is it bad fats that we're being counseled to eat for a healthy heart, but we're also being counseled to take, bits and pieces of supplements that can throw off the balance within our body and create more problems. So it's really important to take them together. And then phosphorus is also something that balances calcium and prevents calcification within the arteries. Does that make sense? Okay. Essential fatty acids are the healthy fats. You can also have avocado and butter and stuff like that, but that doesn't come in a jar. Essential fatty acids do from fish. Vegetable fats promote heart disease. Essential fatty acids reduce the risk of that. That was an FDA claim that Dr. Wallach made. They also thin your blood. They prevent accumulation of plaque. So again, they prevent the cholesterol accumulation. They're good for your skin, good for your nerves, good for your brain. So here we are with the healthy brain pack. Good for your heart. So if you want a healthy heart, you need to have good fats. The next component that's within this special pack is selenium. Selenium is so important for every single part of the body, even post-stroke. So if you know someone who's had a stroke, if they can start taking selenium right away, that can reduce the neurologic effects that can happen post-stroke, which I think is quite amazing. But it's all back to nutrients, right? And contained within this product is also copper. Copper is another element that's really important for the elasticity of the blood vessels and keeping things soft and pliable. So this is going to prevent aneurysms. Dr. Wallach actually linked a copper deficiency to aneurysms. Other things that can get worn out and loose, varicose veins, hemorrhoids, those all can be tightened up with copper. And it helps your hair, prevent gray hair. So I wanted to share a little bit. This is Dr. Wallach again, and this is Dr. Gerhard Schrauzer. So this man is one of the top most quoted scientists in the entire world, and he's an expert on selenium. Together, the two of them have submitted over 500 scientific papers for FDA approval to make health claims. Over 500. I think it's amazing. We talked about some of the effects of selenium related to cancer, but it also produces anti-cancer substances in the human organism. Those are the two health claims about selenium that they were able to make. And here's a list of other body parts that selenium is good for. Did you know that the highest concentration is found in your eyeball? So animals that can see really well and really far, they have high concentrations of selenium. It's good for your bones and teeth, for your brain and nerves. So here we are with the brain and heart pack. You have to have selenium to have a healthy brain and to have healthy nerves. Part of the problem with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, fibromyalgia, all these things that are related to nerves and brain is we're not getting enough fats and we're not getting enough selenium. So this is the answer that Dr. Wallach found through his research. The thyroid needs selenium. Thyroid issues are rampant in today's culture, but selenium's not in the soil anymore, remember? So if you're just trying to get it through food, you're not going to have enough. Uh-oh. What happened? We went offline. Sorry. See if we can bring it back up. There we go. You need it for a healthy heart so it doesn't get swollen, to prevent birth defects. Dr. Wallach and his wife actually went to China and spent some time there doing research on a disease called Kashan syndrome. And they found that every single child that had Kashan syndrome within this region of China was selenium deficient. It's now mandated by the government that the children take selenium when they come to school in the morning. There's no more cardiomyopathy or Kashan syndrome there anymore. So it's true. It helps clear the liver and the lymph. And we were talking about thyroid earlier. Thyroid hormone is T4. That's converted in the liver to T3. You have to have selenium to do it. So why so many thyroid issues? Selenium is a piece of the puzzle. It's good for your skin and muscles. If you have liver spots, that can be oxidized fats. Selenium cuts down on oxidation. And I wish that Lisa was here. She would give us her testimony about how she doesn't have liver spots anymore because she's been taking selenium. Dr. Wallach also found the first case of animal cystic fibrosis in the rhesus monkey, and he was able to reverse it through selenium, giving the mother selenium so that the baby got it in utero, but then also after birth, if a child or monkey has cystic fibrosis, that can be reduced. And SIDS deaths are linked to a selenium deficiency. Not always, but quite frequently, and with selenium supplementation, the rate of SIDS has gone down. It's good for your immune system, good for your pancreas. So it's incredible, not just good for brain and heart. So Dr. Wallach used to be a veterinarian, still is a veterinarian, for over 35 years, but he took his knowledge and converted it over to humans. But I think a lot of times we don't really realize that we're just like dogs. If we weigh 200 pounds, we're going to need more than a 100-pound person. So it's important that you dose accordingly. So 1 healthy brain and heart pack for every 100 pounds if you have any of the heart or brain issues that we've talked about here. You can even add extra selenium. Dr. Schrouser says you can take up to 1,200 micrograms a day, 1,200 in therapeutic doses. I wouldn't do it long term. If you need additional magnesium and you have a calcium imbalance, we have another product called Osteomag that you can add. That's going to help lower cholesterol. And then if you have problems with your heart beating properly, high blood pressure, this is an herbal product that can help as well. So hawthorn is good for regulating any type of heart issue, whether it's low blood pressure or high blood pressure. It helps regulate it. Ginkgo biloba helps drive circulation and open things up so you can get circulation to your extremities, to the brain. This is why it's so good for concentration, because it drives blood flow to the brain. Garlic is something that's excellent for the heart, and CoQ10. Everybody knows that. Dr. Wallach recommends to be on the protocol at least 90 days. Give it a chance. It takes a while for your body to repair itself. And if you've been sick for 30 years, you're not going to get better in 3 months. It's going to take more like 30 months. So 1 month for every year that you've been sick. If you have absorption issues, even though our products are 98% absorbable, you may need to add in some enzymes. And here's a few that you can choose from. And then of course, diet is so important. So this is a list of what truly is good. You'll notice on here that there's butter, that's a fat. Meat, that's a fat. It's good for you. We need to have fat. We're not going to have a healthy brain if we don't. There's the bad food list, and recently what's been added to that is soft drinks and soy. I don't know why it wasn't added sooner. But diet is important. You can take all the supplements you want and then undermine yourself with diet. Here's more healthy fats. So what about high cholesterol? Dr. Wallach says that anything under 200 can be dangerous to your health. And what do statins do? They lower your cholesterol. What's happened with Alzheimer's? Since people are on statins. And then they cause a whole host of other problems too, including neuropathy and all sorts of things. You don't want to use that. Cholesterol is also needed for hormones. As you get older and you're producing less hormones, you need more cholesterol to compensate. So your cholesterol is going to naturally rise. It's not a bad thing that cholesterol rises as you get older. You need it. Vitamin D elevates cholesterol. We already talked about that. Talked about how it elevates calcium, and then that forms the more calcified deposits within the arteries. Toxins in your diet can damage blood vessels, leading to cholesterol buildup. And cholesterol is anti-inflammatory. So if you have a toxic lifestyle, which most of us do, just living in modern society, cholesterol helps put out the fire. So I love this slide because it gives a cost comparison. So your Healthy Body Start Pack for your brain and heart runs around $189 a month. If you have additional products that you need to add in, if you have some heart issues and you want to take care of them, then I would, boost that and increase the number of products that you take. If this is all you can afford, this is a good start. But you see, it only costs $3,300 a year, even with additional products, if you add that on. Compare that to the traditional medical model. So we have insurance premiums of $328 a month. Right there, we've already met the same cost as Dr. Wallach's protocol per month for the brain and heart. Then you have deductibles, then you have co-insurances. So the annual cost can end up being around $25,000 a year if you have insurance and you have some type of heart condition that has to be treated in a hospital or by a doctor. So it's a huge savings to be preventive about your health and to take it into your own hands. I already talked a little bit about Dr. Wallach and his experience. His book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, has sold over 250 million copies. I think is the latest statistic, and then there's all kinds of personal copies that people have made of his CDs and his tapes, so there's probably billions out there. He's been published over 75 times in medical and scientific journals internationally, not to mention the 500 different joint publications with Dr. Schrouzer. And he is licensed to practice medicine on humans, not just animals. So this is longevity, and this is what we have to offer. We have more than just health products, and in a little while I'm going to invite a friend up here to tell you about it. But first, we have an awesome testimony that my friend Marcia is going to share about selenium and about essential fatty acids. It's quite incredible. We were all oohing and ahhing earlier. So thanks for coming forward and sharing.
Well, first I'd like to extend my gratitude to you for your commitment to teach all of us how these products all work with our systems and help us all, you know, get healthier and take in control and advocate for our own health, because I think it's really important that we do that. And so my story begins about 6 years ago when my mother decided to crawl up on the roof at 68 years old and clean her flue. And she fell off the roof and she broke her neck. She put a big hole in her head, broke 4 ribs and her shoulder blade, and never spent a day in the hospital, but I flew out immediately to take care of her. And during the 6-week process of her healing on traditional medicine and pain pills, I wasn't aware of what the pain pills would do to her, but it changed her personality greatly. And we became estranged in our relationship. So for 3 years, she didn't speak to me, and I got a call from her out of the blue one day and found out that her health had really declined in that 3 years, and that she basically wasn't getting out of bed, that she was spending most of her days in bed and in pain and not healed. And so I had just started longevity at that point, and so it convinced her to let me send her products. So I sent her a Healthy Start Pack and selenium because she had a head injury, and a lot of glucogels, and her problem was that she was addicted to the pain pills, and she was afraid that she could not get off of them, because every time she would try, she would start the withdrawal process, which is really scary. And because it causes pain, her reaction would be, I need a pain pill. And so that was the problem that we had run into with the pain medicine. So once she started the product, in 60 days, we were able to wean her from the pain medicine, and she was no longer in pain. She was out of bed, and she was starting to come alive again, starting to regain her health, regain her independence. And about 6 months into her recovery, she told me that her feet were really dry. And so I told her that Dr. Wallig says when your feet are dry, your brain is dry. So I asked her to increase her EFAs to about, to double them. And so instead of taking 3 a day, I had her take 6 a day. And within a couple weeks, she called me and said, wow, that's really working for my feet. But what she hadn't told me was that ever since her fall, she wasn't able to read her patterns, which she's an avid quilter, and she was unable to read her patterns to put her quilts together because it just wasn't making any sense to her. And after just 2 weeks of adding additional EFAs, it cleared up her brain, it cleared up her thinking, and she was able then to read her patterns, and she, in 2 weeks' time, had put together 4 quilts. So now we're down the road 6 years, and last year she was on a ladder again, painting her house on the outside, and she's 74 years old, extremely active, chopping her wood every day, and just back to life, and we're just so thrilled to have her back. So that is my story.
Wow. Thank you. That's a great story. Isn't that amazing? amazing. And that's what happens when you give the body what it needs. It repairs itself, and you no longer have any trouble. So next, I'm gonna introduce a friend of mine who has an amazing story about an entrepreneurial background. He's really smart with numbers, and he can explain to you how you can get your products for free. So we saw $3,300 a year if you want to work on your brain and heart versus, what was it? 25,000 through the medical model, but that still may be a lot for some people, and there's a way that you can get your products for free. So I'd like to introduce my friend Kurt Beanekamp and have him tell you about how to get products free.
Thanks, Julie. Appreciate it. Hey, everybody, excited to be here and have a chance to share with you this afternoon. It's fun to always get together and talk about this amazing opportunity, and I'm so thankful for Julie, because I'm not naturally a product guy. I tell everyone that. I don't understand it, I'm not good at it, I don't really understand all the ingredients, and to have somebody like Julie who really invests the time and the energy to really figure it out and to get it, she's such a tremendous resource for everyone that's involved in this area, and I'm really thankful for that, because what I learned here today, and I've been around this company for several years already, was amazing. I thought about my father, I thought about my mother, I thought about other family members, I thought about myself and things that I can be doing more and different to help myself live a longer, healthier life. And I think most people come out to a meeting today like this because you want one of three things. You want, number one, to live a longer, healthier life. You want possibly number two, to have a little more time to spend with your family and the people you love and doing the things that you enjoy. Number three, you'd like to make some more money. And some people come here because money is really the number one objective. Their health is great, they feel good, they learn about the products as they go along, but those are three things kind of work synergistically together. And the part that Julia's talked about on the product is just amazing. So, I mean, how many of you in this room really, by show of hands, would like to live a longer, healthier life, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't get your hand up on that, you probably did not understand the question, right? Everyone goes, yep, part of that makes sense to me. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears for just a minute and talk about the money that you can make with this opportunity, because I look at it, not only can you get your products for free, and we'll talk about that, but literally this can replace any income or any financial challenge that you may ever have over the course of a lifetime. So I'm hoping I get this little clicker moving the right direction. Okay, am I going the right direction? Okay, great. And so our company was founded in 1997. If you take a look here, you'll see some of our celebrity ambassadors, and I'm not going to take a lot of time talking about them, except for the fact that every one of them has their own personal product story. And so they are here not because we paid them to be here, but they are here because they believe in this product, they believe in what it does, and they believe in the opportunity. And so you may recognize Mary Lou Henner. She's probably one of the most recognizable celebrity ambassadors that we have. I remember her from Taxi. Some of you may remember her with the current presidential frontrunner on the Republican side, which is Donald Trump on the show that he had. So, one of the ways that you can get your product for free is just simply by referring 3 people to this opportunity or to these products on a monthly basis. If you have 3 people who get involved with the longevity company and they just get a healthy body pack, 1 each month, if they get signed up for that, your products then are free, just by bringing 3 people sharing the good news. And really all you'd have to do to make that happen is to bring 1 person a week to hear Julie tell her story, and I don't know anyone who wouldn't get involved after hearing what these amazing products will do. And so today we learned about the heart and the brain, and there are other things that we'll learn about in future sessions, but I'll simply bring 1 person a week and you would never have to pay for your products. You literally could get your products for free, and you could do a lot more with this. Now there's a couple ways to get started. You can get started. We don't want finances to be a barrier of entry for anyone. And so you can get started for as little as $25 and then pick the healthy body pack that suits you. Or you can do what most people do, what I did, what almost everyone in this room has done, which is do a CEO mega pack, which really allows you to fully engage in the business part of what we're doing here at Longevity. And so some of the benefits of it is, number 1, you have a formatted business model. We will teach you, we will train you, we will help you understand everything that we do, and it just allows your success. It's already done for you. It's kind of like being involved in a franchise because all the decisions have been made for you. I used to be in a franchise, and what I loved most about it was I didn't have to figure out the recipes for my restaurant. They told me how to make it, how much of this to put in, how to price it. All of that was done for me. And that's one of the amazing things about having a business that's all put together for you. There's leadership training, there's a car bonus. A lot of the people in the room here today have their own free cars, and it's one of my favorite bonuses that we have in the program. There are stock options, there are bonuses that we're going to talk about, and forget all of that. You get $500 in product for your $4.99 CEO pack. Find out what you like, find out what your favorites are, have a chance to sample products to those people that you care about so that you can interest them in getting started in the opportunity with you. All right, the fast track to success is very simple. You simply share this good news with someone, bring them to a meeting like this, invite them to get on a call, and when someone gets involved in your business with you and they do the CEO pack that we just talked about, you're going to make $100 and you'll make an additional $33. And that's in two bonuses that are combined, our quick start and our fast start bonuses. So you make $133 off the $4.99 CEO pack that they have purchased, okay? So simply repeat that process over. We all have several friends or people that we care about that we want them to hear this good news. Make another $133, bring a third person, and he's made an additional $133. And I'm not super good at math, but that seems like almost $400 there. $399, very good. And so, but when you take a look at what you've done and then the fact, what did we just talk about? When you get 3 people involved in the business, you're going to get a free healthy body pack of your own worth another $150. And so as you look at that, that's a total of $549. What'd you invest? Even with shipping and everything else, a little bit over $500 to get your business started. And so by simply bringing 3 people to this opportunity and teaching them how they can live a longer, healthier life, which you all said you wanted to do, so everyone you know wants to do that as well, teaching them how they can have more time to spend with their family and do the things that they enjoy and make more money, who wouldn't want to take advantage of that opportunity? At least some portion of it. Now here's another cool thing. We're going to talk about work today, get paid today money, and we're going to talk about work today, get paid forever money. So the first thing we talked about, the money we talked about so far was work today, get paid today. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in something called the coding bonus. You are only eligible for the coding bonus if you have done the CEO pack. So that's another great reason to invest in the CEO pack. That and all the products that you're going to get. So to be eligible for the coding bonus, okay, at the level that we're going to talk about, the first target that you want to hit is a level called SEMD. And I'm not going to go into all the details, but this person has accomplished that by just what you see on the screen here this afternoon. Okay, so when you go out, you've already enrolled the 3 people. Remember what we already talked about in the previous screen, and you made your $133. Now to really engage the coding bonus, you need to go and bring in a 4th person. If you're an SEMD and you bring in a brand new person, you still get the $133, okay, that you get with every new person who comes in for a CEO pack. But in addition to that, you're going to get another $100 in the coding bonus. And when you start to understand this, this is when I really figured this bonus out. This is what made longevity so real for me and so exciting, because I've never seen a bonus like this any time that I've been in this industry, where they're going to give you an additional $100 for bringing someone in. And the next part of this, if you really figure it out, this will blow you away, because now your goal, you've learned about the products, you've brought 3 people into the business, you've gotten your money back in the business, and now you're starting to teach and train and help other people to build a more successful business. When you help this person now bring in their first person, guess what's going to happen for you? You're going to have a chance then to capitalize on the hard work that you're doing with them. And the first 3 people that they bring in, you'll make an additional $100 on the coding bonus for the 3 people that they bring in. They'll make the $133, so their work today, get paid today money until they qualify as an SEMD is $133. But your work today, get paid today for helping them is $100 for each new person that they bring in. And the next go around that you have, when you help the next person, help each of those 3 bring in 3. Now you have 9 people that you've helped them. You're going to get paid $100 on each of those 9 as well. As you just continue through this, you have 27 people. Just multiply by 3. You help those 9 get their first 3. You're going to make an additional $2,700. You go forward and you help those 27 get 3. That's 81. It's another $8,100. You help the 81 each get 3. That's 243 people, or $24,300. Imagine if that's all that you did as you help each person get their money back, get their first 3, make their $133 times 3, plus they're going to get that free product, so over $500, $549 that they make, you're going to get paid for that extra effort that you put in. I've never in history seen a bonus that pays like that, okay? And then it goes, there's no limit to what can happen with that bonus. Now, if you go to the next, and let's just say you help them to get a 4th person, so what happens then? Well, you can take a look at this little chart and you can see that that person will then start to get $15. And so I don't want to complicate it for you, but that means that you're going to get $85 on their fourth, their fifth, their sixth until they start to qualify at a different level. So the money never goes away, and that pays to infinity. That bonus alone could make you financially free. Definitely could help you pay for those products that we're talking about, but that bonus alone could really make you financially free. Okay? Now, I want to talk, before we go into this part, I want to talk about not only the work today, get paid today money, but I want to talk about the work today, get paid forever money. And so for every person in your group that you saw on that screen, you're going to get about a $10 residual on the products that they purchase on a monthly basis. And so they're going to buy their $150 to $200. In our house, we do $700 or $800 worth of product. There's no limit to what you can put in your house. But most people, the average in my group is about $160 per person. So I just figured for every person in my group, I'm going to make about an extra $10 a month. That's how you can figure what residual. That means the work today, get paid today is what I do this month, I get paid for this month. But the residual, the work today, get paid forever money, is something, that's what really makes it exciting, because whether you get anything done that month or not, the residual income will show up. On the 15th of the month, I get a notification every month in my inbox that says, we have made a deposit in your bank account. And you can just figure for every person in your group, about a $10 bill, every person who buys their product. So imagine, and I've used a 4-16 scenario where you bring 4 people in to start with, like we had there. So you bring in 4 who get 4 is 16, 16 who get 4. So you got 4, 16, 64, 236, just continues to multiply out. And the dollars that can be made there are unbelievable. In one screen that we have, it shows literally over $60,000. It's 4, 16, 64, 256, 1,024, 4,096. Just going that far down literally could make you over $60,000 a month. What if you were just 10% successful with that? You made an extra $6,000 a month over and above whatever it is you're doing now to put income in your family. Would that be life-changing for you?
Yeah.
Would that give you more time to spend with your family to do the things that you enjoy? No doubt about it. And so those are the things that we want to try and help you accomplish. But when you take a look at longevity and everything that we do, obviously we talk about living a younger, longer life, maximizing your life, maximizing your genetic potential to live as long and as healthfully as you can. A proven business model. We have recognition and appreciation. We're getting ready to go on a cruise after the first of the year. That's going to be super fun. And so the training and support, the people in this room are happy to help you to get better, to understand what we're doing, and to build on your dream. Being your own boss can be good or bad. If you go to work every day, it's really good. But if you don't get much done that day, then you feel kind of bad. And so that you got to look in the mirror and kind of answer to yourself. But boy, having the freedom to do what you want, when you want, and have the ability to pay for it, being your own boss, is awesome. The fact that we have willable income, I have 4 children and 4 grandchildren. And I know that if something happens to me, that this money will continue to come in month after month after month, whether I'm here to cash the check or not. And I kind of joke, if I were out of the picture, everyone else would have a lot more spending money, because I always kind of go through my fair share on a monthly basis. And so the income potential is absolutely unlimited. There is no limit to the amount of money that you can make with this program. I have friends making 20 grand a month, making 50 grand a month, making $100,000 a month. There is no limit. And what other job could you start? What other business could you start? What other endeavor could you tackle where you literally have a chance? Give me one, a chance on a $500 investment where you could literally make 10, 20, 30, 50, $100,000 a month. There just aren't any out there. It does not exist. Okay? And then the vacation incentives, again, I said we're heading out to something real fun here pretty soon. So it's pretty simple to get your business going. All right? I suggest get with the person who invited you here. Get the enrollment form, sit down at your computer. It takes about 5 minutes to fill everything out. I just did one with a lady from Pennsylvania last night. It's quick, it's easy, and it helps them to understand the business. But the first thing you want to do is figure out which products really fit for you. Okay, you're going to get a nice group of products for your $499, but then figure out what products do you want on a monthly basis. What are the products that you really feel good about and that you can really use? Get some input from Julie, from someone that you care about, or from someone that cares about you, to learn what products really fit best for you and for your family. Get that CEO Mega Pack. It's important for your business. And if for no other reason, to find out all the products you have access to is a good start. But one of the other reasons, if you're serious about building the business side, not just the product side, people will ask you what you did to get started in your business. And if I'm sitting there chatting with you and a friend of yours, you're the person that they really believe in and trust in, When they look to you and say, what did you do when you got started? You said, I did the CEO pack. They're going to say, great, that's what I want to do. The next thing you want to do is just simply set your personal goals, determine why it is that you want to build this business, put that in your head, put that in writing, tell your family, and then get started, because it really is as simple as telling someone how they can live a longer, healthier life, how they can have more time, and how they can have more financial freedom. And so I don't know what else you could do to have that opportunity presented to you. I don't know what else in the world that you can do to set up your retirement in that way. I don't know anything else that you can do to have something you can give to your family, to create a legacy in literally just a few years that can be life-changing for you and your family. So I ask you to ask yourself that question. What else are you going to do? We'd love to have you join us in what we feel is the greatest business opportunity in the world today. So Julie, thanks so much for having me. Very exciting to have a chance to share with you, and I appreciate all of you that are in the room tonight, and any of you that may be tracking us from somewhere else around the world. So thanks so much.
Hey,